guys, it's 21 Maxwell here and welcome to another edition of TNA Making an Impact, our go home show for Hard Justice coming up in our next episode. So again, we're trying to get all these feuds to have as much heat in the storylines as possible so we can have a solid card here in one of our last pay-per-views before Bound for Glory. We just have our September pay-per-view after this, and then it is the big one in October. So heading towards that, hopefully a stellar show tonight, hopefully a stellar show at the pay-per-view, and hopefully a run at the national level. So without further ado, let's crack on. It is TNA Making an Impact. We start the show in front of 8,476 people in the Veterans Memorial Fieldhouse, and we start the show with a bit of a bang. The champ is out. The champ is talking about this big matchup between him and AJ Styles, when out of nowhere, AJ Styles comes out, attacks Finn Balor, grabs a hold of the championship belt, and he floors him standing over the fallen champion to start the show. So big tease between these two. Is it going to be AJ Styles, who could be the champion come Hard Justice, but he's shown, any opportunity that he can get a sneak attack on Devitt, he's going to go with it and he's going to signal to be the champ this Sunday. So A93, two of our more over guys in the company, show off to a strong start, and the crowd getting hotter with the championship storyline advancing and gaining some heat. More to come from these two going forward. We start off with some action though, and it was about that had some decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat, and it was the BC who defeated the Mac and Moose with a win 6 minutes and 53. Matt Jackson pinning Willie Mack with a moonsault. Moose being the weak link, another poor performance from him, but him and Willie Mack are getting better at the gimmicks. Moose with 32 is very disappointing. C64 though is a good rating for the match, a couple of performance skills upgrades, but it's just you want the tag team champions looking strong. Will they have more of a factor to play tonight? That remains to be seen. We then find out that Brandy Reynolds is going to book a match for the pay-per-view on Sunday, and it's going to be the Wolves who are going to get the championship match, and that they're going to take on the BC for the championship. C-58 there, so you're wondering, what does this mean for Mike Bennett and Brian Cage? I thought they were going to be the new number one contenders. Well, as a result of this, we see Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson, the BC, assault Brian Cage backstage to take him out of action. They've completely beaten him up, and it's a C+66. Cage needs medical attention, and he's been taken to a local medical facility, when in reality, he got injured for PWG, meaning he's going to be out of action for roughly 2 months, so him and Bennett will not be able to challenge for any championships. It does put paid to that storyline we had going. Pissed off because it didn't happen on TNA television, but yep, Brian Cage is injured, but more on that later on. We have some X Division action next, and it was about that had some decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat, and it saw the team of TJ Perkins and Pete Dunne defeating Spud and Jay Lethal in 10:26, when Spud was defeated by Pete Dunne. Jay Lethal was the strongest man in here, Pete was the weakest, but again we have to build him up slowly but surely. But meshing with these kind of athletes can only help them get over. C60 for the matchup, so that's good. A good mesh of our over X Division stars and some who aren't, and hopefully a build of the future for Spud and Pete Dunne. We then have a video. It's basically Mike Bennett, who's not at the arena tonight. He's cruising the pool at his hotel and saying, "It's a shame that Brian Cage got attacked tonight. I could have been there. I was resting up for Sunday. I'll be there on Sunday. I'll issue an open challenge. I'll take on MD. But as far as Brian Cage is concerned, that waste of space has cost me the tag championships. And I'm glad he's hurt." So some heel words there from Mike Bennett on his former tag team partner. Next up, we had the returning Shibata in action, and he defeats Sami Callihan in 7:59 by pinfall. This was a B-72. Shibata came across well with a great 83 performance. Sami Callihan hinting at a heel turn down the line, but the fans did not recognise it because it was not his strong suit. But it could be a future heel turn in the coming weeks for Sami Callihan. After this, Shibata basically says, Samoa Joe wanted to challenge me for my championship. I will happily accept. And at the pay-per-view this Sunday, it will be Shibata, it will be Samoa Joe, it will be hard-hitting. Someone will definitely need to be stretchered out as the national championship will be on the line. B83 segment and the storyline gained a bit of heat. Next up, in a number one contendership match for the Knockouts Championship, it was a decent matchup that didn't have much heat, and it saw Becky Knox and Britannia Knight draw in 10 minutes and 16 following a double disqualification. During this matchup, we saw Rosemary come in and attack not just Becky, but also Britannia. So a C65, decent matchup from these ladies. The Knockout storyline advances, and we do not have a number one contender. So due to this, Brandi Reynolds will come out and she books a three-way matchup for the pay-per-view this Sunday, where Rosemary will defend her championship not just against Becky Knox, but also Britannia Knight in what should be a star-studded quality triple threat match. So D-40 there. Storyline lost a bit of heat, but I'm sure these ladies can put on a spectacular show at the pay-per-view. Next up, an extremely short matchup, the Hardys defeated the Tribunal in 5:28 when Jeff beat Baron Dax with a twist of fate into the Swanton Bomb combo. C62. It is what it was, keeps the Hardys looking strong. Tribunal are enhancement talents. And next up, the higher power is revealed on Impact and not on pay-per-view. Bit of a swerve there, maybe some folk weren't expecting it. But apparently the guidance that Abyss and Doomsday have been receiving is from Raven. So he's no longer a loner, but he is now controlling these two dominant monsters. At B-77, Raven is here to take over, but the Raven nevermore. So what's going to happen this Sunday when we have the massive matchup between the Hardys and Raven's lackeys in this case, the monsters, Abyss and Doomsday. And because the Hardys are in the ring, and because Doomsday and Abyss are on the ramp, you damn right we're having a motherfucking brawl. So basically they come down, brawl all the way to the back. Hardys, they seem to be underwhelmed by the size difference in here. Few weapons though, and this is just a little taster and a teaser for what should be a brutal contest this Sunday. But the B-74, a couple of guys done well in terms of improvising. And yeah, good segment there between the Hardys, Abyss, and Doomsday. And speaking of open challenges, so we've already got one issued by Mike Bennett. We now have one issued by Adam Cole. Adam Cole says, don't have a matchup for this Sunday, didn't even have a matchup today. I hear there's people getting cleared by injury that should be available for this Sunday. So if you want to make your way to the ring on Sunday, I'll happily take you on. So that's a B+89. Who could he be mentioning in this promo? I think we've got a rough idea who it's going to be, but B+89 predictions are much appreciated. And we then head into AJ Styles hyping up the main event match. B+88 just saying he's been here since day one. Apart from the spell where TNA didn't value him, but he's now back, he's got his spot. He's going to show that he should have been the champion pretty much the whole last 10 years he was in TNA as well. And main event does the job. It was given a good opportunity to Ricochet and Barrett as well. And it was about that had superb wrestling and great heat. Ricochet and Devitt get the win over AJ and Stu when Ricochet defeated Stu Barrett with a quick roll up. So the underdog gets the upset victory again. This storyline gains heat. Devitt by 91, 83 for AJ Styles. Ricochet and Barrett done okay. And overall, questions, can Barrett overcome these continual upsets? B83 is the show's rating, which increases our pop in 23 regions, which again, we can't really complain about. So we'll go back to the main screen as we get ready to head to Hard Justice. Let's have a look here. WWE have re-signed Aiden English. We are looking to bring in a few guys as well. Bobby Roode is gone. We are signing Austin Creed. He's going to be joining us in the X Division. Could be coming back as Consequences Creed. It's going to be interesting with the people we've got backstage in the locker room at the moment. But Brian Cage there, as I say, he's injured. If I just click there, you see out with a Bennett fracture. Ironically, considering obviously that's who he's going to be feuding with, or would have been feuding with, going into the pay-per-view. But you can see here, 47 days, injured for PWG. There's been plays to send him by ourselves, by WWE, and by AAA on our permanent deal. We've put in for a 4-year deal, big money being splashed at Brian Cage. Just hoping we can bring him in. So Spud's unhappy, Rude's gone, 6.23, Al Snow likes Willie Mack, and Fergal Devitt likes Sally Callahan. So the good news is we've got some new people coming in. As I say, Hard Justice is 3 days away. Some people will debut then. Some people will debut down the line. Now you can notice one there that I'm hovering across. Won't be debuting at Hard Justice. I confirm that man will not be the man there. There is plans for him down the line. He was available, so I thought let's get as many big names as possible coming in as we try and get to that national level, because they're going to really be a big play when we get there. So as I say, get as much of those names in as possible. So the questions I've got for you guys, right, is I say predictions to the pay-per-view are appreciated. I say we're going to have the Wolves against the BC for the tag titles. We're going to have Jay Lethal and TJ Perkins for the X Division. We're going to have that triple threat for the women's. We're going to have Devitt versus Styles. We're going to have Ricochet versus Barrett. Joe versus Shibata, the national championship. And 2 open challenge matches. Oh, the Hardys as well. Hardys against Doomsday and Abyss. But 2 open challenges. Adam Cole. Who is Adam Cole's opponent going to be? Get any guesses who that could be? And Mike Bennett, fresh from Brian Cage leaving through injury. Who is going to be the man to take on the Miracle? So I hope you guys are looking forward to the show. It should be a good one. So if you've got any comments on the series, who you'd like to see getting pushed going forward, any comments on your own saves, how he's finding the game now, he's enjoying any real world mods, who you think's got the best mod at the moment, are there any historical mods you've been really enjoying, or are you working away with the Cornell verse? Let us know how you're getting on, and just any general, as I say, wrestling, comments, I suppose. We're on the road to WrestleMania. We've had a lot of big news out the ring for all the wrong reasons, it seems, recently. What do you make of that? Do you feel that can affect anyone's career? Debate is always good. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. It is much appreciated. As I say, likes, subscriptions, and all that are always deeply appreciated. As I say, anything as I say that can help not just the channel grow, but of course the game grow, because we do know it is a very small community, and a lot of wrestling fans don't have a fucking clue what this game is. So if we can, expand that, that's all we're asking. Because I say, I used to play a lot of Football Manager, and I played a little bit of EWR and TW. Now I'm literally just playing TW. That's how much I really do enjoy this game. These 2 saves I've got, could say I'm addicted. But as I say, as always, guys, thanks for watching. It's much appreciated. As I say, you can catch more booking stuff on the Fantasy Bookers subreddit. There's a lot of guys there with written stuff and YouTube stuff as well. And there's a lot of guides, mods, graphics, you name it. A lot of helpful guys, a lot of knowledgeable guys on the Grey Dog Software forums. You can check that out and you can get the game from there as well. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you either for a future WWE pay-per-view video as we get ready for Survivor Series on that series, or for Hard Justice on the road to WrestleMania, Bound for Glory, WrestleMania season. Surely you can forgive me, on the road to Bound for Glory for the TNA save. So thanks, guys, take it easy, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.